Florida job closing for 2025. Macy's is closing 65 locations. Walmart is closing 6 locations. Walgreens, 1,200 stores are closing. Starbucks closing several locations. Dollar Tree, Office Depot, Party Central, Foot Locker, closing over 400 locations. CVS closing hundreds of stores. Sears is closing its last remaining stores. GameStop closing many locations. Advance Auto Parts closing. Technology, as Mark Andreessen said, software is going to eat the world.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship Yahawah, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. And we are indeed seeing these prophecies unfold day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well and taught me his truth. Salutations, brothers and sisters that are out to listen and learn. Fight this good fight of faith. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. To you all in the six shalom. Help prepare that this lesson be edifying to the elect. So I came across this article and another article that I want to read a little bit of, but just showing, how close we are to the complete downfall of Babylon, man. Most people are living check to check. Most people can't keep their head above water. The middle class is pretty much being done away with, and it's just going to be the haves and the have-nots, man. So this is from End Time Headlines, and it reads, it was published today. Shabbat Shalom, by the way, for you brothers and sisters out there. So it says, many Americans can't buy homes, get jobs, or move in this stuck economy. It says, in an era of persistent economic headwinds, many Americans find themselves trapped in a cycle of stagnation. High borrowing costs, shrinking job opportunities, and a cloud of political and economic uncertainty have created a landscape where upward mobility seems like a distant dream. From aspiring homeowners staring at for sale signs to job seekers scrolling endlessly through listings, the U.S. economy feels less like a ladder and more like quicksand. This sense of being stuck isn't just anecdotal. It's a pervasive reality shaping lives across the country. The Federal Reserve's recent decision to lower interest rates for the first time this year underscores the gravity of the situation. Policymakers cited slower job gains and elevated risk to employment as key concerns, particularly amid the heightened pressure of the Trump administration. Yet, even with the modest relief, the broader economic machinery remains jammed, leaving households in limbo. And it goes out, housing markets. I just want to focus on the job aspect for this lesson. It says job market dwindling, openings amid uncertainty. And you brothers seen in the opening clip, all these different companies are going out of business and closing stores. So that's even less jobs. And then you have the AI and these different robots that are taking over these, manufacturing jobs and like entry-level type jobs. And, they had, at Amazon, they have these different robots that stack the shelves and pull stuff off and sort things. And so all these different jobs are being taken away. I seen earlier, I believe it was Dell, was going to get rid of 20,000 positions. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it goes. And UPS, and back in April, to cut 20,000 jobs in 2025 after slashing Amazon shipments. From this was from last year. I thought they had a more recent one. Apple to hire, okay. So that must have been from last year. I seen it, but you could see where the so it must have been UPS, and I was thinking about that was just back in April. But we could see where this is all going. So it says job market dwindling openings amid uncertainty. The labor market, once a beacon of post-pandemic resilience, is showing cracks that compound the housing woes. Job openings have dwindled as companies adopt a more cautious hiring stance, wary of recession signals and geopolitical tensions. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported a dip in vacancies last month, with sectors like tech and manufacturing hit hardest. For workers, this translates to fierce competition for fewer roles, longer job searches, and a reluctance to leave stable but stagnant positions, man. So it's getting bad out here, man. Let's get a scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? We always go into this. The keepers of the house go into the economists, and it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, right? So less and less jobs with all these different companies, shutting down, places and going online or going, with AI. That means less and less work for the people, man. And people still gotta eat, still gotta buy things, still gotta pay your rent, your mortgage, car note, car insurance, put gas in the car, So if there's no way for people to work, how are they gonna be able to pay their bills? So it says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? There's no future here. And the door shall be shut in the street, right?
So the job closing for 2025. Macy's is closing 65 locations. Walmart is closing 6 locations. Walgreens, 1,200 stores are closing. Starbucks closing several locations. Dollar Tree, Office Depot, Party Central, Foot Locker closing over 400 locations. CVS closing hundreds of stores. Sears is closing its last remaining stores. GameStop closing many locations. Advance Auto Parts closing. Technology, as Mark Andrews.
And the doors, Ecclesiastes 12:4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right, early in the morning to look for jobs. That's what, you go through TikTok. That's what you see a lot of people talking about. They're searching, doing job searches all the day long. And either they don't get called back, or they do and they say they're not qualified, or they say they got somebody else already, or whatever, what have you, But this is a prophecy that's coming to pass, man, and it's only going to continue to get worse the closer we get to the end of this man's world and his system. And it says, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, and the music is absolute trash. So let's go to what's the solution, right? Well, this is what Elon is saying. He said this before. It says, this is from Yahoo Finance. Elon Musk says, we'll all have best medical care, food, housing, and everything else, and a universal high income when robots take over by 2030. And there goes at 2030. And it says, what happens when robots take everyone's jobs? It's the question hanging over office chatter, think pieces, and late night doom scrolling. People are scrambling to find AI-proof careers, but with predictions that automation could replace nearly every role, the anxiety feels justified. Elon Musk, however, isn't losing sleep. He's been repeating for years that society won't just need a universal basic income, it will need something bigger, universal high income. The latest reminder came from tech commentator David Scott Patterson, claimed on X that by 2030 all jobs will be replaced by AI and robots. Musk replied, "Your estimates are about right. However, intelligent robots in humanoid form will far exceed the population of humans, as every person will want their own personal R2-D2 and C3PO, and then there will be many robots in the industry for every human to provide product and services." So this is where, these devils are going with it, man. You just have a bunch of robots around and everybody, sitting in the house, with a C-hip in them, and connected to the Internet of Things, and they have the robots flying around doing whatever. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that clip real quick. Here we go. This is from this short film, Beyond the Reset. This is what these devils want, man. Look at this. Got your rations, your Beyond Meat. They want you to add the bugs. Everybody in their little cubicle. That's pretty much, what these devils want, man. You just stay inside, watch your little TV, eat your bugs, comply, and have your C-hip in you, and it's connected to everything. So you're basically in a prison, and these elites can go around and do God knows what in the rest of the earth. That's what these devils really believe they're gonna be able to achieve, But the Lord is going to dismantle all of this. They show, as the scriptures say. Let me get that. Job 5:12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So these devils ain't gonna win, man. They're doing exactly what the Lord wants them to do. Now I wanted to get this. So I asked ChatGPT, was there a job shortage in ancient Rome before it fell? Because this is the revised Roman Empire, right? And as the scriptures say, Ecclesiastes 1:9, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun, right? So let's see what it says. It says the idea of a job shortage in ancient Rome before its fall doesn't map directly onto our modern economic concept of unemployment or labor markets, but yes, there was economic and social dynamics that resembled job shortages or underemployment, especially in the late Western Roman Empire, 3rd to 5th centuries CE. It says here's a breakdown of how it looked. This looked. Decline in urban economic activity. Cities shrank and trade diminished in the later empire, especially in the West. As urban economies declined, craftsmen, merchants, and service providers lost work. Former bustling cities like Rome and Carthage saw significant depopulation and reduced commercial activity, right? So there's less people shopping, less people going out, less people going to the bars and restaurants. Why? Because they don't got no money, you know? And, it continues on. Let me see. Then it talks about inflation, social mobility, job inheritance, decline. Professions became hereditary by law to stop workers from leaving essential roles. People were forced to stay in their family trades regardless of demand. Yeah, so you see where it's coming, where it's going. And Babylon the Great is no different. This is Isaiah 19 and 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do, man. So we're in those times, man. Brothers need sincere sisters, man. So we're gonna keep on reporting on these, Babylon circling the drain, and on these prophecies that are hitting, that are coming off the pages, man. As we get closer and closer to the end of Esau's world, man. So I hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning. Fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. And salutations, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, a Baba Ball, and Kwam Yasharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.